So when Donald Trump signed this executive order on pharmaceutical pricing, he gave a 30-minute speech. He talked about some other things. He was asked some questions about the plane from Qatar. I've talked about that. But he went on and did this whole press thing where he was going to sign this pharmaceutical executive order. And that was the whole point of being there. But after he talked for 30 minutes and answered some questions, he gets up and goes to leave. He never signed the executive order. Dr. Oz actually had to pat him on the back, whisper something in his ear, and lead him back to the desk so he could actually sign the order. Now, this isn't the first time this has happened. He did that another time with some tariffs, where he had an executive order he was signing about implementing tariffs, and he gave his speech and then walked away, had to be led back to the podium to sign the executive order. Donald Trump is very clearly not in the best mind. We are seeing it in real time. He forgets what he's doing, has to be reminded to go back and sign the order that he was there to sign. That was the whole purpose of the event, and he forgot. If Joe Biden had done something like that, of course, Donald Trump himself, his supporters, the right-wing media would be all over it. Sleepy Joe doesn't know what he's doing, doesn't know where he's at. But they have crickets when it's their guy. Now, the left-leaning media doesn't push it nearly as far as the right-wing media should, and they're not pointing out how bad off he really is. You're here seeing some stories, but they don't push it, not to the extent that the right-wing media would. Donald Trump clearly is suffering some kind of mental decline. Now, for his part, he says he's in the best shape of his life. He had his physical where they claim he was in the best shape of his life, but it didn't sound like what we actually see. The things didn't add up. Donald Trump has talked about acing cognitive tests, but those are the type of tests. It's not about pass-fail. They're judging you on a sliding scale of where you're at versus where you were, things like that. And of course they'd tell him he did very well, that he passed, that he did all this, because that's what he wants to hear. You don't tell somebody who is suffering from mental decline that they are suffering from mental decline. It's just not how you do things. Donald Trump is clearly forgetting what he's doing. He doesn't know where he is in some cases. This is very troubling, and Republicans should be very worried about this public appearance of Donald Trump, about how lost he seems to be when he even forgets to sign the executive order that he was there to sign.